Right, so today what we're going to make is we're going to make a herbal honey. For this herbal honey, I'm going to use rose flowers. So we're going to use some rose flowers and we're going to use some rose hip, hawthorn flower, and also the leaves, and hawthorn berry and hibiscus. And what we're going to do is we're going to infuse all of these into the honey. Now, I just have your local shop brought honey that I'm going to be using to infuse my flowers and the herbal properties from the flowers into the honey. If you can, it's best to use Manuka honey. So I'm going to give you some information about these ingredients. So these are really good for the heart. This is going to be a heart tonic sort of a honey. So it's going to be good for the heart. So it's going to be a honey that is good for the heart and good for your heart health. So as mentioned, we've got our hibiscus, we've got our rose hip, we've got our rose, and we've got our hawthorn berries and our hawthorn leaves. So by using the hawthorn berries and the leaves, we're getting the full benefits of the actual hawthorn. So these are all dried plant materials that I'm going to be using so that we've got no water in this honey. And the fact that it's got no water in it will prevent bacteria. And the honey is antibacterial anyway, so it acts as its own preservative. So you'll find that honey doesn't really, it doesn't go mouldy. It would just lose some of the beneficial qualities and the taste would go after a while. But it actually lasts for a long time. And I just heard a story. Well, it's actually fact that some honey was excavated from one of the tombs in Egypt and it was still perfectly preserved and edible after these thousands of years. So honey will really last. This is the hawthorn berry. They're just really dry, but when they're dry, they still maintain a lot of those beneficial properties are still within them. So I'm just going to go through my tablet here to give you some information regarding the ingredients. So with our hibiscus, which this dried hibiscus is really great for colouring anything that you make. It really creates a lovely red and vibrant colouring and pigmentation in your formulas. Hibiscus, which is this, is great for cardiovascular support. It naturally lowers your blood pressure and improves circulation. Hibiscus is antioxidant rich. It protects your blood vessels from oxidative stress. And hibiscus is cooling, so it's great to use in the summer months. And also with the nutrients, the richness of the nutrients that it provides, it's also still great to use in the winter months as well. But the hibiscus it's cooling, so it helps to balance excess heat in the body and inflammation or irritability. So you can use this hibiscus to calm the heart, and if you're feeling overheated, it will cool you down, or if you have any inflammation within your tissues or bodily systems, the hibiscus will assist to reduce some of that inflammation. Spiritually, hibiscus invites us to embrace love and joy and openness, and it assists to open the heart. With our rose hip, the rose hip is an immune booster. It's extremely rich in vitamin C and antioxidants. Rose hip provides great collagen support. It helps with tissue repair and elasticity. Rosehip is restorative and it helps to rebuild vitality. So after we've been feeling run down or fatigued or stressed or after illness, rose hip is a great thing to use to rebuild some of that vitality and energy that was lost during the stressful times or when we've been facing illness. Spiritually, rose hip brings nourishment and renewal and resilience after emotional depletion. So rose hip is going to be a great all-rounder for the heart. It's known for being great for the heart, and it's going to help to really nourish that heart and to provide us with feelings of renewal and to foster that resilience so that we can carry on. And then when we move to, of course, my favourite, we've got rose. And rose is an emotional heart healer. It assists to soften grief. So when someone's experiencing grief, the scent or ingesting rose can really help provide some soothing nourishment to the body and to the soul as well. So rose, it assists to soften grief and it eases heartbreak and it can be worked with to assist us to open up to love. Rose is anti-inflammatory and it gently soothes tissues. It's unnerving, so it calms anxiety and it can assist to uplift mood, which is also going to be great for the heart. And then spiritually, the rose is sacred to Venus, and rose really brings this beauty, this glamour, this resilience, and it also offers protection or is seen as offering protection magically. But spiritually, it really resonates with the frequency of love and self-love and divine connection. So connecting to source and experiencing the source's love. Rose is also connected to and associated with Mother Mary, so it has a lot of spiritual significance. Then when we move to the hawthorn berry, it assists to strengthen the heart muscle. It helps to improve contractility, rhythm and blood flow of the heart and that strengthen those heart muscles. It regulates blood pressure and can gently lower or balance blood pressure. Hawthorn berry is also antioxidant rich and it protects the cardiovascular tissues from degeneration. It's a really great one to use in a heart supporting tincture, syrup or honey or or even in an oil to rub on the part. So this hawthorn berry is great for teas, so you can just dip it in hot water and then drink it as it's cooling down. It's a really great one to use. I wanted to combine the two, and also the hawthorn berry is actually connected to the rose. So in working with the hawthorn berry, we're still working with the plant family that is associated with the rose. And that's what I've gone all in on. We've got the roses, we've got the rose, we've got the hawthorn flower and the leaf and the berry. And that is really bringing in this rose energy, which by working with the honey, that allows me, and if you create your own similar, you can use some of the ingredients I'm using or all of them, and if you do, that's going to allow you to experience these plants within your own system and to see what you experience as you ingest the honey. And it's great for you, it's great for your heart as well. And you can get a spiritual connection with the plants with working with them because as I'm going to be working with them, I'm going to be working with them in a very mindful way. So the hawthorn leaf and flower, which is this one. So this is very green. The green things tend to be very nutritive. So the leaves are very nutritive. You find you get lots of nutrients from the leaves. The flowers all tend to be very gentle and soothing for the body. So with the hawthorn leaf and flower, it assists the heart rhythm. It provides heart rhythm support. It balances irregularities and relaxes tension around the heart. Hawthorn leaf and flower also is a circulatory tonic, so it improves oxygenation of the tissues. It's a calming nervine, so it soothes stress that directly impacts the cardiovascular system. And it's spiritually associated with love, protection, and crossing the thresholds between like the etheric and spiritual realm and the physical realm. And it assists in guarding the sacred heart, and that's the hawthorn leaf and flower. So these ingredients they have deep history, both being used physically for the heart and being used spiritually and energetically for the heart and for protection as well. So the combination of the honey that I'm going to create, I'm just going to be using just up to 1 to 2 teaspoons, 5 mils a day, and doing that in a sacred way to really experience it within the body. So we'll just go ahead and mix the ingredients. So you're also going to need a jar. In fact, you'll need your jar, you'll need label to label your ingredients so that you know what it's like. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write my label now so that I don't forget anything that I'm using. So first of all, I'm going to write that we're using our honey. You can, if you want to, you can write down the brand that you're using. I'm just writing that I'm using honey, hibiscus, my rose hip, my rose, hawthorn, flower and leaf, hawthorn berry. And that's everything. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8. Yeah, so we've got all our ingredients. Now, in putting the ingredients into the jar, the heaviest ingredients are always going to float to the bottom. So I'm going to start with the heavy ingredients because that's where they're going to try to make their way anyway. So some of these heavy ingredients, the flowers and the leaves, so the rose flower and the hawthorn flower and leaf blend, so it just looks like leaves. I'm gonna leave those to last. The hibiscus is quite dense and the hawthorn berry is quite dense. What you could do is you could go ahead to push these a little bit. I'm just gonna go ahead now. I'm only gonna look to put about 1/4 of my ants in the bottom so that the rest is going to be the honey that is going to be infused by those ingredients because I'm going for it mainly being the honey that is usable straight from this jar. And I'm actually going to just use it quite quickly over a couple of months, really. So I'm putting my my hawthorn berries into the jar now. And I'm going to layer this. So I've got my hawthorn berries. Think I'm going to put the hibiscus now because that is quite dense. Just putting some hibiscus in now. Then I'm going to put the rose in. Down to put the rose flowers. And then finally the hawthorn flowers and leaves. It actually looks quite beautiful, and this base could be used for so many different things. You could create a tea with that. You could use that to create bath salts. You could use it to create herbal oils as well. I'm just going to fill that with the honey now until it's completely full. Okay, you agree. Alright. Then it's just as easy as I'm just going to fill it up, really. What you want to do though is you do want to let the honey soak right through to the bottom because you want this plant material completely submerged by the honey. And you could use different flowers for this. And when you're picking your flowers, I work with teas, so I go for the herbal teas, and that's what these are. These are herbal teas that you can purchase, just a single herb, and then you can then combine them yourself and go for organic as well. And I'm just doing this slowly so that the oil is seeping right to the bottom because, like I said, we want the plant material completely covered. And then all you need to do is pop your label on it, and that is done. So just, make sure it's completely full. You can give it a little, turn it a little. I put greaseproof paper. I'm going to get some wax paper that I'm going to put between it. For the minute, I've just got greaseproof paper, so I'm going to put that in between and then just put on the label. And on the label, I'm going to put that this is a heartfelt pudding. That's how you make infused honey. And if you have a look on my blog, Rose Priestess Energy Healing online. You can see lots of different recipes, and I'll be adding more recipes as well.